Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin, Dubuc,
David, Nguyen.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in any market. Today, guys, we're still in Greenville. So, if you tuned in last week, you know that we're live at the Money Law and Title office here in Greenville. So if you hear some background noise, that's what's going on because they're doing business here today. They're closing loans. But at the end of the day, it's such a beautiful filming location. We had to take advantage of it twice. So we're still here today, and we've still got Brenda. You're still here. But Brenda, you brought some other guests today. Who do you got with us? Who do we have here?
So today I have Joanna and Hailey Arwine, and they are a mother-daughter team and an integral part of Greenville.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff. And how do you know Joanna?
Well, what some people don't know is that I haven't lived in Texas all my life, and that's why my accent isn't as heavy. But when I came to Texas, Joanna was the first agent who gave me a shot. And so we closed our loan on February 14th and 2019.
Is that
And
Valentine's
so
Day?
Kind of been married since.
Galentine's
right?
Day,
I think.
right?
Oh, that's right. Valentine's Day.
I love it. I love it.
We were joking the other day that I was her last closing of 2022 and her first closing of 2023
That's pretty
because
cool
Brenda's
stuff.
amazing.
You
So,
guys have some history together. I love this. That's
Little bit.
fantastic. So, Joanna, Brenda knows you. We know a little bit about you. We know you do some amazing production, and we also know you have somebody else here with you. So, talk about that. Who do you have with you? And let's hear a little bit about Joanna and your story.
Well, believe it or not, I know you asked earlier how I got started,
Yeah.
and I was actually a teacher before I got into real estate, and I
An
was
educator.
Yes, I was actually an ag teacher, which
Very-
shocks a lot of people that don't know my background. I went to a small school, and everybody did everything right, and so I
Yeah.
was very involved in the FFA program, and my ag teacher in high school was like my second dad because I was his shadow. I went
And is this here in
everywhere.
Greenville?
This was just outside of
Just
Greenville. So
yeah.
I'm Hunt County born and raised. I went to Greenville through
You're
middle
rooted.
school, and then I went to Bland High School, which is just a smaller school right outside of
Okay.
town.
Very cool.
So through all of that, I wound up with a scholarship based on an ag education program. So I taught ag for 4 years, and based on my high school experience, I only knew how to do it one way, and that's
Yeah.
we did everything: the leadership contest, the judging contest, the conventions, and so I had Hailey. And I was carting her around.
And Hailey is, just so
Hailey
everybody
is
knows.
my oldest daughter and my twin. We hear quite frequently. So I was carting Hailey around everywhere in a stroller, and the kids were amazing. They loved her. They would help me with her. And, I really enjoyed what I was doing, but I
Yeah.
thought to myself, how am I going to do this when I have another baby? And
That's
I knew
right.
that was in the plan, right? And so I was in the process of selling my first house. And
So real quick, you went from agriculture to real estate. How did you
Yes.
make that segue? Just real fast.
Well, that's the whole thing is I was contemplating like what can I do? What makes
Yeah.
sense for me because all I knew was what I was presently
right.
doing, which was teaching. And I grew up on a farm. We didn't move, right?
Yeah.
I never had any real estate
One house,
dealings.
one
house,
spot.
that was
This
it.
is home.
So as an adult, I found myself selling my first house, and the lady that we hired as our real estate agent was going on and on about how much she loved it, and
That's
she was
awesome.
a single mom, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to her, and like this light bulb went off, and I thought, why have I never thought of that? I mean,
Yeah.
I like to talk. I'm kind of a people
You're great
person,
at it.
and my dad said I
You're a
could sell
natural.
ice to an Eskimo, so it was I don't know. It
You
was just one of
stumbled
those
in-
moments.
You
I
stumbled
did,
into it.
absolutely.
It was the right place. You're single. You're a mother as well, right?
Yes.
And you're going, hey, if I have another one, man, how am I going to do that? And that's where Hailey comes in. So let's hear about that.
Yeah, so it was the best decision I ever made, and Haley's been showing houses since she could walk.
You're born in it.
I mean, I used to say that I come equipped with car seats, like when I was helping families that had kids. But as she got older, like just say 6, 8, 10, she'd run through and turn all the lights on for me. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
it's pretty much been in her blood, and as she got older, I always wondered like what would she do,
Right.
and there came a point probably
17 maybe.
16, 17. Yeah.
17.
And she just told me that that's what she wanted to do. She
I
was
love
going to
it.
join me. And so I really probably needed an assistant a little
It's important.
sooner.
It's
I mean,
important. And somebody you can trust.
Probably is an
yes,
understatement.
probably. Now, I do have another assistant who does all of my social media marketing, April Power. She's amazing. I could
That's
not
awesome.
do what I do without her.
Mhm.
But having a licensed assistant, you
Yeah.
can be in two places at once where I
Double
previously
trouble.
couldn't. Yes. And so, it's just been amazing. And we've had a lot of really positive feedback from the mother-daughter team. I think everybody loves that. Who doesn't love a family going into business together? And I guess I never envisioned when I started
Right?
where I am today. Like that wasn't the thought because, small town,
Yeah.
Hunt County, I never could have imagined being at this level of production and in this position. I never thought of it as becoming a family business.
But
And
it is a family business in a lot of ways. Our core value is family. We talk about it a lot, and that's because number one, we serve families, right?
absolutely.
But we also we associate with a lot of people on the day to day that are a work family, right? In your case, your work family is actually your family. And then we talk about the fact
Very
that
true. All
that
of them.
yeah, that family, we need to make sure that we're there to take care of our families. And you've taken that to a whole nother level. You said, hey, Haley, you've been born into this. We're just going to team up and we're going to do this together. And I absolutely love it. And like I said in the beginning, I've seen your production report. You're killing it out here. You're
Thank you.
absolutely fantastic. There's a question we like to ask, David. I'm gonna let you ask this one. What's the question we like to ask our guests?
I'm scared.
It's an easy one. It's an easy one. What is the one moment or achievement in your professional career that you're most proud of?
Oh gosh. One moment,
Yeah,
one
maybe it's not so
achievement.
easy.
It's really
There's been a
not.
lot.
Ugh, hush.
But that one spot where you walked in and you go, man, this is
Yeah.
wow, I did this.
The office that I've been with for the last several years, gave out an award each year, and
Yeah.
it was like a Realtor of the Year. And as the top producer in the office, I was always getting that award. And so,
Just another one to just throw it on the shelf with the
no, and I
rest.
don't mean it that way. It's just like I was
You should
always
though. You should take that humble hat off.
stop it,
You're
stop it.
killing it.
But I am very humble. But I was getting the top producer award, and so there's all these other specialty awards.
That's
But the
right.
Realtor of the Year was kind of I don't know, the one that meant the most to
That's
everyone.
awesome.
And I honestly felt like because you want to spread it out, right?
Yeah.
You don't want Joanna to get every award, and that's not a fun show to go to. You
Sure.
want everybody to
But you're doing
to
something
be
right.
involved.
You're
And
doing something right.
yeah, well, and I appreciate that. But the year that I got that award, it really meant a lot. My assistant April, she did all the media work for it, and she
Love
put
that.
together this phenomenal slideshow of all the people that I work with as partners, and all the people, so a lot of the families that I've helped, and watching that and being there in that moment and getting that recognition,
Yeah.
it really meant a lot.
It's
It
an
really
honor.
tugged on my heartstrings, and I looked back at the video where I was crying, and I was like, nobody wants to cry in public, right?
No, but it
So
just shows that you mean it and you care and you're real.
That's really a great moment. But I'm sitting here watching y'all two back and forth, you and Haley, and I want to hear a little bit from Haley.
Well,
Obviously,
and I've got a specific
she's
question
gonna
for
hate
Haley.
you for this.
Okay.
How did you feel when your mom won that award? How did that make you feel, right?
I was actually there, and I don't think I was working with her yet.
No, I don't think you were.
I don't think I was working with her yet, and I didn't cry, but I definitely felt that she deserved it.
That's my mom, right?
Yeah, that's my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has made some very big accomplishments over these past few years, and I couldn't be more proud of her.
I would love that.
Oh,
I think that's very inspiring. You can choose any career path that you want. You chose
Hey,
to go to.
she said we're twins, and
Is
I
she
want to
your
be just
hero?
like
Yeah,
her.
yeah. Well, you chose
She's
a
your
career
hero.
path for your career to emulate your mom. So to me, that's very inspiring. You must have did something right, Joanna.
listen, there
to
was a
inspire
few
her.
times where I wasn't so sure. Like if y'all asked her when
She has to tell this story because
if you
But
asked
we gotta hear the
Haley
story.
when
Shh,
she
let's
was,
go.
15, she probably didn't like me very
I
much.
might have said I hated her.
I'm the strict mom, the overbearing mom,
Yeah.
but it's because I care, right?
It's because you
Yeah.
care. Yeah.
Oh,
And-
but with the younger one, it's not like that.
Oh, hush! Stop.
Now
She
you're getting
always says
told
I'm
on.
easier on her sister,
You're getting
and we're
told
always
on.
asking, having a younger daughter named Abby, and we're
Yeah.
always asking her, what she's going to
She told
do.
me one day that she was like, "Haley, you think we could move the couch out of the office and we'll just put my new desk in there?" I was like, "Oh, so you want to do real estate? Okay."
I
I
love
joke
it.
that
I love it.
if Abby joins us and decides to do real estate, we can be the triple A team.
Yeah. Hey,
You already
you,
have a name.
yeah.
You have a name
You guys are
already.
going to
Yeah.
take over Greenville.
I mean, maybe,
We're trying.
Yeah.
No,
You're doing,
I do feel like I did something right because this kid right here, she is amazing. She helps me. I could not have gotten through this last year with, I mean, you guys know, you've heard the real estate market the last few years has just been insane. I mean,
It has.
I got tired of saying every day, every week, it's been a crazy day, it's been a crazy week. Okay, well, it's just been a crazy 2 years at this
That's
point.
right.
But
Yeah.
she has helped me tremendously. She's right there. I mean, she kind of got thrown to the wolves, hit the ground running.
Hey, this is what it looks like
Right.
every day.
Yeah.
There's no sugarcoating this. Like, here's where we
I
are.
think I started with 17 deals on the board.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's
Wow.
let's talk about that. You practice real estate in rural America. Greenville is not Dallas, Texas,
No,
but
it's not.
it's growing. It's developing. In the time that just the last 5 years. Tell us about that. Tell us the growth that you've seen in the area.
Well, in the last 5 years, I mean, it's crazy. There's a development going in on around every corner, right? Especially, I mean, Rockwall is just bleeding into Roy City at this point, and parts of Roy City are in Hunt County. My girls both attended Roy City ISD, so
Yeah.
we're very invested in Rockwall County as well. And it's just coming this way. And Caddo Mills has just exploded. I mean,
Yeah. You
everybody
guys are a
wants to be in
neighboring
Caddo
border
ISD.
of Dallas. You're closer
Absolutely.
than people realize.
Yeah, we have so many builders building in Greenville, so many new developments coming in. I mean, the growth that we're going to continue to see here is
Yeah,
unprecedented.
we talked about that on the last one with Brent, and there's a lot of new things coming in, new businesses that are coming
hmm
in, and such a really cool downtown vibe. The people here really care about the city, and I want to talk about something else though. I want to talk about the relationship that you have with Brenda over here. I think you guys have a pretty special relationship. I know Brenda holds you really fond in her heart. She's talked about you on many occasions, but let's go back and let's kind of talk about the beginning of that relationship. So you gave her a shot, right? And
I
this is an
did.
area where you're kind of in the club or you're not, right?
Very much so. I mean, this business for myself as well, and I was going to talk about that at some point. This business is about relationships.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
And I'm willing to give anybody a shot. But once I make that connection,
Yeah,
I'm pretty loyal, and that's what we hope for in our business,
that's
right?
right.
We hope we retain those clients, and when they need something again, that they call us back. And Brenda is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Her shirt that she wears occasionally says the Lone Goddess, and it is without a doubt very, very true. She's a very type A personality, so
Yeah,
she's on top of it. Her team is on top of it,
that's right.
and she cares about her clients.
100%.
Over the years, I've seen so many deals fall apart, and they fell apart because the lender, they were just a number.
Yeah.
They didn't do a thorough
Yep.
analysis. They
That's right.
didn't really cover every I being dotted and T being crossed
That's
to
right.
ensure that they were well qualified for that home. And Brenda does that. Brenda makes sure that everything is addressed, that if Brenda tells me that these people are in good shape, then
They're
I
qualified.
know we're going to
Yeah.
make it to the closing
You can
table.
stand behind that borrower. You're going to go out there and show them homes with confidence because you know what that process is going to look like on the other side.
Absolutely.
And that's part of what we talk about in the name of the show is real estate success partner, because we're talking about partners, right? And that's what you've got to have. You can't just go out there and do business with anybody. You've got to find the right agent. You've got to find the right lender. And when you do, and that chemistry is there, magic happens. People get into homes.
Magic.
The process is simple, right? And that's what it's all about, is connecting families to their homes and doing it in a process that they're going to love. And you guys are doing that, right?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you another thing that I love about Brenda is that if someone's not qualified, she cares enough to talk them through what it's going to take so
Next
that in the
steps.
next year or two, whatever the scenario is, that they can meet that goal.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different story. that they've
That's
been
right.
through. You know, credit maybe is not so great because I had a divorce,
That's right.
or, you know, I lost my job during COVID, or, you know, whatever the scenario is, we all go through tough times in our life.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you may be in a situation where, you know, 2 months we can turn this around, or you may be in a situation where 6 months or a year it's going to take. And Brenda is committed and cares enough
She's going to be there.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
she's going to walk them through what they need to do and get them connected with the right credit repair people
The
so
right
that
agent.
yeah, well, you know, we hope.
Mm.
And so ultimately, you know, she
Or
wants to help
agents.
people. We're a pair, we come together.
That's right.
We do come
That's right.
together.
I love
Yes.
it.
I always tell people that they get both of us because they get all of my time since I'm starting out, but they get all of her experience and her time as
That's
well.
fantastic. That's
Yes.
fantastic. Yeah.
I love it.
You guys definitely have a really good vibe. Just hanging out with you guys and just feeling the energy between the two of you. I can see why you work so well as a team, right? You know, and that's not always the case with moms and daughters, right?
No.
No.
Oh, well, she said at 15. You wouldn't have thought so.
She didn't like
But
me
now
very
she's
much.
my best
But here
friend,
you
so,
are, right? Here
yeah.
But
you
I
are.
also want to add the comments that I've heard about Haley from just clients because they'll go and see houses with clients and with Haley, and then the clients will call me and say, "Well, yeah, Haley just showed me a home, and oh, I just love that Haley," and so
so
she's
cool.
having a massive impact on.
Cute.
Well,
You're
you
doing
know,
it
Brenda
right.
is her second mom.
Brenda is my other
She
mom.
says.
Whenever they're on the phone, I'm like, "Hey, mom. Hey, mom."
Yes. She has a few of those.
I
April,
do
my
have a
other
few of
assistant,
those.
is her third mom. I mean, at this point, I don't know if I
Allison.
feel as important as I used to be because she has so many moms.
So I got to ask you a question. You guys clearly have a really great bond here, Brenda and Joanna and Hailey, right? But is that the typical bond with a loan officer, right? Do you normally have that kind of bond with a loan officer?
I don't know if I would call it typical. I mean, I can say I've worked with a lot of loan officers that are great, right? And
Absolutely, yeah.
have relationships. There's several local ones that, you know, they're fantastic as well. And
Right.
if I see them in town, I'm gonna give them a hug. Brenda and I, we just have this special bond. We
Just
have
click.
a lot of history. We're really close. I kind of feel bad sometimes because I'm always getting phone calls from these lenders that, you know, they want to earn my business, and I'm like,
Sorry.
sure, you know, because I'm calling Brenda.
Yeah.
We do. We have a special relationship. We're really close. I could tell you a lot of fun stories. You know, Brenda probably, she
Ooh,
probably
the
would
secrets.
kill me.
Hey,
we love
that
secrets.
road goes both ways.
Yeah, I was about to say, Brenda
Oh,
could tell you
okay.
a few too.
Forget I said that. I'm sorry. Where were we at? What were we talking about?
I think I could tell them about both of you at the same time.
Oh, I like it. I like
Don't
it.
make me-
Getting
don't make me
sassy over
start
here.
on
Disconnect
you.
that mic. Disconnect that mic.
This is the stuff people really want to hear. Let's get into it. No, I'm totally joking.
She's like, no.
Yeah, we're not doing it. Yeah, I'm about to get kicked off my own show, by the way. So
Brenda's over here going,
yeah,
I'm
not
out.
doing it. Not doing it. I love it. I love
Cut.
it. So, but okay, so we're here in Greenville, and there's new stuff happening. You guys got this great bond, you know. But what's that production look like, right? So we talk about you have great production. You're winning all these awards. You know, you fell into it. You're amazing at it, right? So talk a little bit about what you're doing. What's the superpower, right?
The
her
superpower.
superpower is being a mom.
Oh, look at you.
That is her superpower.
What do you want? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's the weekend. She's like, you're gonna pay for this one.
Yeah. You know, we talked about Brenda already kind of with this aspect, and I think that what is the word, like skyrocketed
Yeah.
my business or led it to this point is, because it's grown consistently every single year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because every year you get more repeat business and more referrals the longer you've
That's
been in the
right.
business,
Well,
right?
if you're doing the right activity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I care so much. I am not just trying to sell somebody a house. There's been many, many occasions where I'm like, please don't buy this house. Like, just because of fear of too many problems, too many
100%.
things that with my
Yeah.
experience, I'm seeing that.
You're not in it for just the paycheck.
No, sir.
You want to
no.
make sure you're putting people in the right home, something you can stand behind and say,
Mhm.
I sold that home to that
I
family.
want them to be excited. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing more exciting than when you see the face
Yeah.
on the family when it's the house,
right
like,
one. Yeah.
it's the house. And I'm just so thankful for the people that continue to call me. I have people they'll call me 11 years later.
Yeah.
And we may not have had a lot of contact over that
Right.
11 years, but
Yeah.
they still thought to call me back because they knew that I cared. I was honest and straightforward.
100%.
I have a family. I love to tell this story, and Brenda is right big in the middle of this. I
Yeah.
have a family that I have now completed 12 real estate transactions, 3 generations. So we've done like 3 deals with grandma. We've done
Wow.
like 6 deals with the daughter and her
Yeah.
husband, and then now we've sold homes to 2 of their children who
Yeah.
are one is married with
You're
her
their
family.
brand. They're not going anywhere else.
Absolutely. And so that's fun. One of my dear friends, Rachel, and Brenda is very close with her as well. She says, when it comes to real estate, Joanna and I are married, like for life,
That's great.
And
That's awesome.
so those are the kinds of things that really make your heart smile, give you joy to know that people trust you that much. When you get a referral from someone that you helped and next week they're referring you to their
Yeah.
sister and her husband, we've had that recently. And
Right.
so if people trust you with their family, then they trust you,
But
right?
they trust you for a reason, They trust you for a reason because you're doing all the right things for all the right reasons. And at the end of the day, like you said, you're not just putting them into a house to put them in the house. You want to see that face light up when they walk through the door and go, this is home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And on the listing side, I list a lot of properties. It's not just working with
Yeah.
buyers.
I saw that.
In real estate, listings are king, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That leads to those buyers calling as well. And so, to be a for longevity in the real estate business,
Right.
being a listing agent is a key factor. And, I tell people every day when I sit down with them, I'm going to give you my honest opinion and I'm
Yeah.
going to be straightforward. And I never want them to tell me what they're thinking
Yeah.
because I don't want that to drive when I'm looking at numbers. I don't want to try to get to their number,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people that'll just walk in and tell you whatever, you want to hear. And
Yeah.
then, 6 months later when it hasn't sold, you're wondering what happened. And
Yeah.
so I pride myself on being honest and
It's
straightforward.
important.
And, if you want to push the envelope a little bit within reason, then okay, but you know where we started, what I told you, the range that I felt was true market value and where I
Yeah.
think we
You're
can get the
educating
property
them
sold.
to make
Absolutely.
sure that you're giving them the right opinion so that they can get the right value for the home. But also put it in a position to where it's not sitting on the market and dragging over time. It's going to sell, right? It's going to sell, and it's going to sell for a value that's good for both the seller and for the buyer, right?
Well, and I can tell you in the last 2 years, that's been a little tricky.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tell me about
the
it.
market increased in certain junctures so significantly.
10%,
And
20%.
I'm not kidding you when
Yeah.
I say that I looked at a house in November. I did an analysis and I was like at 499.9, and that was pushing it.
Yeah.
January, I'm messaging the client saying, "Are you guys ready? Because this market just keeps going up."
It was a crazy
And
time.
and by the time we got to March, I mean, it's valued over 600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I experienced that.
It's insane.
I experienced that. I had a home that I picked up for 405 and turned around and sold it for 650 in about a year and a half. It was
Absolutely.
unbelievable, right? I did well, but was the house really worth 650? I don't know that it was, right? I think we're starting to see things normal back out,
Absolutely.
and I think that's a good thing to get back into more of a normal lending environment. Of course, we all love to sell a lot of homes, and we love the low interest rates, but at the end of the day, it created a real interesting situation in the marketplace, and it's hard to correct, right? And
Very
we're
much so.
seeing the correction from that right now.
We are. And so now we're kind of on the flip side, whereas, a year and a half ago, we're trying to watch those comparables and they're increasing so dramatically. So I just said that word,
I
didn't
like
I?
it. Let's
So
we're
here's
gonna
my
coin it
real
dramatically.
superpower is combining words. I do this all the time. No, I just make stuff
She just
up.
said dramatically and drastically, and
I
she
heard it
mixes it
dramatically.
This is not the first time I've used this word, so it should really be put in the dictionary.
Yeah,
It is.
I like it.
It's a real thing.
Goodness.
So
We're still in that
I
one.
can't believe you just said that.
I can't believe I did that either. So as the market let's go back to where
You
we
see
were.
the energy with these two guys? Seriously, they really are fantastic.
Haley wasn't
together.
going to let it ride.
No, she had to throw me into the
Calling
I
bus.
was
you
like,
right
hey, Mom,
out
if you want to say
every
it, you go
time.
ahead.
I really thought we were
And
going
you
to
were nervous to
slide
be
right
on this
past
show.
that.
Are you
Hey,
kidding
we're
me?
keeping that one, by the way. No.
Staying in there, John.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah, I got to reel this back in, and recover from that.
So the dramatic market
Thank you.
has started to settle down.
It
correct?
has. And so now when you're looking at a property and you're trying to determine value, you're looking, if you go back 6 months, we're
Right.
just kind of creeping out of the crazy period. But,
Yeah.
you can't look at comps from March and April and May last year where people, with multiple offers and paying
right.
over asking. You have to kind of reel it back in.
Yeah, that was unrealistic. It wasn't going to
It
last
was.
forever.
And so, that's where experience is key.
It is. And
You
how many
know,
years, by the way?
18.
18 years in the industry. Yeah.
Absolutely, because it's we're kind of in uncharted water, so to
Sure.
speak, and
Absolutely.
you really have to do a thorough analysis. Haley and I went and met with a client last week. We have a follow-up listing appointment to sign everything and get it up and running on Monday. And her property was put on the market kind of as we were coming out of the craze, right?
Mhm.
And it was put on the market at almost $1 million. And then there was a small price reduction. And honestly, reviewing it, I don't feel like the value was ever
No,
at that
it was an
at that
appropriate
point.
correction is the best way to
Absolutely.
put
And
that.
so, it was really hard going in and
Explaining that.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
tough
because we weren't talking
we
about
want to think that it's
100,000.
really worth that, and the reality is it's not. And then you get that disappointing news of, man, I'm not going to be able to sell the house for what you want. But
Mhm.
you're the honest realtor that's going to step up to the plate, and you're going to provide education to help the homeowner understand why this is happening, and you're going to deliver the bad news. But you got to do it. You got to
Well,
rip that Band-Aid off.
absolutely, because I always tell people that I would be doing you a disservice
That's right.
if I told you that I could sell your property for something that's unrealistic. And then if it doesn't, you're going to be mad at me,
That's right.
So I have to give the honest.
Let's talk about that. There's a lot of realtors that are just yes people. They'll say yes to whatever the customer wants, but that's not always in their best interest. I think Haley said it best. Your superpower is mom. The reason why is let's talk about mom.
Yeah.
Mom is the matriarch of the family, right? Mom is the one that when you have problems, you go to mom. You don't go to dad. At least I did.
I don't either.
You don't want to go to dad.
No, when they were little, they would run straight past dad and come and find me
Every-
clear through the house.
Same thing happens in my household too.
I think it's every house.
Love you,
if
Darian.
you have a matriarch of a mom, you go to her. She's the one that helps you whenever you're in trouble. She's the one that solves your problems.
Yeah.
She's the one that does. So I agree with you, Haley. Mom, superpower. It's transitioned to your business. And as I hear these things, you tell these people what they probably don't want to hear, but they need to hear it.
That's right.
I tell people all the time, we all have a gut that says BS. You know what? If your gut tells you someone's BS, you usually don't want to deal with that person. And sometimes just by telling the truth, that's what makes you special. That's definitely differentiates you from a lot of realtors out there. So don't discount that.
No, that's 100%. Superpower is mom. And guys, we are getting kind of close on this one. And I want Brenda to get a chance to talk a little bit because there is a bond here. And Brenda, you do a lot of business with Joanna. Talk about it.
Well, and I think going right along those lines, though, Joanna is not afraid to talk to a client and say, at the expense of not selling a property,
Yeah.
I don't think this is the right time for you, but let you speak with Brenda.
Yeah.
And then she'll call me and she'll say, hey, I want you to take a look at this person, but I don't know that it's in their best interest to sell. What do you think? And so we will talk about that. So she does always have her clients in mind like that. And
Amazing.
so and I remember the first time I was worried because in Kansas we didn't order surveys, and Texas you do. You
That's right. That's right.
you have a survey on every property.
property.
And I was like, oh, I've got to do that.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, honey, I already took care of that. And I was like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
She's
And
showing
so
you the ropes out here in
yeah, so
Texas.
she
Yeah.
did. I mean, in those first few transactions, I was dotting my I's and crossing my T's because I wanted her to come back,
Yeah.
because you work hard to show someone that, hey, I do know how to do loans, and but the thing about it is you want to partner with someone
Yeah.
who knows real estate, and
Yeah.
and I love that about
And somebody who's like-hearted and like-minded.
yes.
And I can clearly see that connection here, and we talk about that. Your success partners, right? You've got to have the right person in the right place to make sure that everything goes right. And you guys are doing that stuff, right? It's cool.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, guys, I'm going to ask a question that I always ask. Joanna, is there anything that we should have asked you today that we didn't?
Oh gosh. We talked about a lot of good
We
stuff
covered some
here.
cool
I
stuff.
mean,
Yeah.
I was really nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
We
So
couldn't tell.
Yeah.
you hush.
No, you did great.
No, everything that I gone over in my mind, that I felt like was kind of important
To get out there.
to throw out there. I feel like we did. I guess the only other thing that I would say is, um, we've talked a lot about being mom and Haley coming on, and I can't tell you how proud I am of this kid. I mean, she turned 18
Yeah.
January 20th last year. She got her real estate coursework in the 1st of March.
That's awesome.
She had her license by May.
That's amazing.
Whipping
I
it out.
mean,
Yeah.
You're getting it done.
And when I say she hit the ground running, right?
Taking
You
action.
know what we've been up to. And so
Yeah.
I'm so proud of her, and she is an amazing person, and she cares as much as I do. And it's kind of cool coming into the office and sitting down with her every day and figuring out what all we've got going and where we've got to be. And I'm so excited for the future for
That's awesome.
us
Me too.
as a team.
There's that mom superpower coming out
Mhm.
again.
I know.
My little sister, she calls me her life assistant.
Okay. I
So
like
her
it.
real estate assistant and her home
I
assistant.
love that.
Yeah,
I
because
love
she
that.
does do dishes and
And
laundry.
cook and clean.
But when are you
And
coming by the house?
I mean, I tell people all the time, you can't have her.
Yeah.
I've had several people
Taken-
ask
She
me.
doesn't want me to
I
move
say the
out
same
like
thing
most
about
parents.
Brenda.
No.
So
No, she can stay as long as she wants.
That's awesome. I love it.
Especially as long as she's doing dishes and
Yeah.
laundry.
We'll make sure
Wait,
you get
that's
that
not all
disclaimer
I'm
on
good
there.
for.
No, definitely not.
No, you're
But it
doing
is a
some cool
perk.
stuff. Haley, anything we should have asked you that we didn't?
I don't think so. I was nervous too.
I
But
know. You said
guys
you
are
weren't even, you were
great.
like, no, I'm not going to answer anything, but here you are. Yeah. I
But
love
no,
it.
thank you guys so much for allowing me to be on the show.
Well,
I
pleasure
loved
to
it.
have you here.
Yes.
Yeah. No, people need to know how to find you two because you guys are out here doing some really cool stuff in Greenville. The city's growing, and if somebody wants to come out here and they want to find you guys, how do they find you?
Well, I always say phone numbers are a little harder to remember,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
you got to write that down. So my catchphrase that I started and became my website, and it actually came from my other assistant, April.
Okay.
We were trying to figure this out one day, and she said, "Sell it with Joe," and she was totally
Let's
kidding,
go.
but I was like, I like it. And
Yeah.
so
It's stuck.
our website is sellitwithjoe.com, and we've
I love it.
added a few more hashtags of, sell it with Joe and Haley. And
I have
Haley
Haley helps you move.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So,
you guys are killing it with the names.
Yeah, so you can find us on Facebook just by looking up Sell It With Joe. You can also it's our website, so www.sellitwithjoe.com.
That's Joe J-O?
J-O, yes,
Yep.
sir.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And go ahead and throw a phone number out there just in case somebody's got their pen handy. What's a good phone number?
903-456-5232. And Haley is 903-456-9021.
I love it. And you guys are going to want to make sure you call because seriously, if you're looking for a home, you're looking for the right team and the right team paired with the right lending partner, you're going to want to catch these two because they're killing it out here and they're doing great things for their borrowers and for the community, right? Brenda, again, we love having you back. Thank you for jumping on. Anything else we should have asked you before we tie this one up?
Just want to remind people that we do have a local office that we're in the process of getting licensing
That's
switched
right.
over
Any
to.
day now.
And
Any day
so
now.
that's 4702 Wesley Street here in Greenville. So,
That's right.
give me a shout.
If you're looking for Brenda, it's brendathelender.com. That's brendathelender.com. And what's the phone number, Brenda?
903-474-1800.
I love it. David, I know we were short on time. Anything you want to throw in here before we
No,
wrap
this
up?
is fun, ladies.
You guys are a blast.
Y'all are a blast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
We may have y'all have to come back just for the
Yeah.
laughs and the jokes.
We can do it.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I
so
love it.
thank you
I
for
love
being
it.
here.
Good
Thank you.
stuff. Well, guys, we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Nguyen.
And if you want to check us out, it's going to be at realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. Or you can check us out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio. We're on all the major networks. We'd love it if you'd subscribe, follow, and 5-star reviews all the way. So look forward to catching you on the next one. Thanks for stopping in.